Hello! Welcome and thanks for joining me for another episode of One Man's Tracks. This week's artists can shift seamlessly from a soulful, bluesy Americana to a soft, innocent pop rock with really just clean flow throughout this entire record. This Kentucky-born singer-songwriter has been sharing her voice with the world for the better part of 3 decades now. Somehow still that feels like a bit too small of a piece of the genre pie that Joan Osborne samples on this. Her 1995 studio debut album, released through Polygram Records and produced by the incredible Rick Chertoff, assisted by the founding Hooters members Rob Hyman and Eric Bazillion. This is Relish by Joan Osborne, featuring the polarizing smash hit One of Us, written by Bazillion. This record soared to multi-platinum heights and introduced the world to Joan's potent and hugely diverse vocal ability. That transcending signal, however, only scratches the surface on what Osborne and crew serve up on this powerful and emotional hour of music. So let's not waste any more time, jump right into the tracks, starting out with my favorite of the bunch, I think. This is Saint Teresa, and it's an excellent introduction, tone-setting track that allows the listener to peek into just the beginnings of Osborne's talent here. You're brought right into the track by Eric's haunting mandolin playing, and he continues to lead you through a song that feels folky but with some gospel undertones. Reading into the lyrics, it seems to tell a tale about a either drug-addicted prostitute or maybe just a drug-addicted drug dealer who sells heroin on the corner, and the choruses, you experience those incredible heroin highs, and those verses bring you right down to those low lows. Really powerful opening piece, and I can't say enough great things about how much I love Osborne's voice here. I initially thought this song was about a patron saint of sorts, but looking into the meaning and kind of just Googling a bit of Saint Teresa stuff, it seems to be more related to the statue, the ecstasy of Saint Teresa. Quite a heavy-hitting opener, and Joan continues to keep it gritty with a song that teases her 2017 covers album of her longtime favorite artist, Bob Dylan. This one is Man in the Long Black Coat, staying fairly true to the original tempo and maintaining the acoustic guitar accompaniment. They swap out the harmonica and that background noise that's in the original for an electric piano and electric guitar. It keeps it a little fresher and provides a pretty solid cover version of this song. Just right when Relish threatens to stagnate a bit with these slower, heavier tracks, they come at you with Right Hand Man. It's a Captain Beefheart riff that's played in 7/8 time. It creates this energetic pop country flavored song that has a chorus that's as repetitive as it is catchy. Pensacola is a song Joan wrote when she was thinking about a childhood friend whose father had abandoned her, and she would sit and wait every day after school hoping that he would come and pick her up. It's pretty tragic stuff, and Osborne pushes the narrative further to have the protagonist of the story go and find her father in a trailer in the sand, and the reunion they have is just not at all what she had imagined, and listening to her mother's advice, she has to just turn around and leave him where she found him. Thematically, this one's right there with the first 2 tracks, with an overarching sense of regret, and there's a bit of bitterness there. It's palpable, it's right there, and this track is right among with the great ones on this album. The next song, Dracula Moon, has a fun bass line, stomping percussives, twangy harmonica, and some understated keys. Not to mention another great chorus here. Now time for that super single that actually was originally almost given to the Crash Test Dummies, but when Bazillion the writer showed Chertoff the producer, he said, "This is a hit song, you have to give it to Joan," and forced Joan right into the studio right away to record it. Originally they wanted to give it a power ballad treatment, but it just wasn't working, and so Rick suggested that Joan try a gentler approach, and that's how you get that innocent, sort of childlike questioning on One of Us, that question we all know far too well at this point. I used to think the lines, God is great, God is good was just kind of culty and gross, but given the context of the song, it's really just Joan saying that we're all great, we're all good. It's nothing to worry about. He's just one of us, and so we're all just as good as we can be as we are. Yeah, speaking of who's good, who's a good girl? Oh, it's you crawling all upon me, 'cause you know I love you so much. Yeah. Okay, I'll see you later. Good girl. Thanks for the cameo. From the naive ponderings to a stubborn determinism, this album shifts back to the foot-stomping tempo with blues rock tones on the track Ladder. A song whose lyrics are up for interpretation. I think it's definitely about awareness and being accepting, but whether it's about steadfast love in a dishonest relationship or if it's just a internal dialogue that is a battle between all the negative aspects that you want to escape from, and there's this ladder that can symbolize kind of the awareness of a way out, but there's the line like, it doesn't even matter anymore, I'm gonna take my time. It sort of makes you settle in and let you know that you're not going anywhere and you're gonna stick with the person regardless of how many shortcomings they have. Now for Spiderweb, the most instrumentally rich track here with real fiddles, virtual fiddles, harmonica, mellotron. It's a complex web that's weaved for this funky, soulful number whose lyrics are convoluted at best. I think it's trying to say the gifts we share with each other create connections, and then when we need to trade off our gifts and focus on another area, we can sometimes lose those connections we had. It's confusing. Get into this song and let me know what you think, because I need help. I read in an old Rolling Stone article that the production choices on the next track, Let's Just Get Naked, made Joan want to take it off the album completely, with its focus being more on the raunchy chorus than any of the lyrics behind it. The song itself, thematically though, fits really well with the context of the song Ladder. It's just a more positive, light-hearted approach to it. The song is a lot of fun with some Courtney Barnett vibes to it. I think my only real takeaway from it is put this song right after Ladder and you've created a nice little mini narrative within the album itself. There's a second cover here that breaks up the flow and sets up the final tracks of the album. It's a 1963 blues standard originally recorded by Sonny Boy Williamson II, titled Help Me. A marvelous harmonica leads you in, and this 12-bar blues does as blues does, and Joan does as Joan does, maintaining those building blocks and adding on her soulified southern flair. Crazy Baby is a plodding country rock track that is doing its best to support a depressed friend, and it leads nicely into Lumina that brings you in really close with intimate guitars on top of a sweetly layered synth that's really light, and it provides a nice blanket for ourselves to tuck right in on this closing number. A super pleasant melody that takes a refreshing approach to the story of Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. Lumina meaning light and possibly representing some godlike comfort. What an incredible album experience this is. I love how it manages to feel so full, yet also feel like it's an intimate, almost live setting. Just a fabulous time, start to finish. I can't recommend it enough, guys. That's why it's here, that's why it's on the channel. Eric, Rob, and Rich once again helped create another empowered, Grammy-nominated debut album. They did essentially the same thing 10 years prior, working on Cyndi Lauper's debut album, She's So Unusual, that catapulted her career back in '85. Joan Osborne remains active to this day, with her self-producing a quarantine release just last year titled Trouble and Strife. It's her most political album yet, with some incisive, dynamic lyrics on top of a 70s sort of rootsy, rocky flavor. I love hearing artists 10 albums and still making music for the joy of bringing people energy and happiness when they need it the most. Many thanks to all you guys still watching this video, and a great way to spread joy and happiness and bring me energy is just clicking on that little like button, and it means the whole world to me if you click on that subscribe button for next week's album review. Yeah, 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 yeah. What if God was one of us?